Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for the team selection video for Gameweek 19. Again, as we just finished the stream, we're back on another one. So, yeah, how you doing, Jordan? All
All good. Yeah, all
Ready to
good.
go?
Welcome. Yeah, all ready to go. And we're back. Welcome back, everyone.
Yeah, so we are going to quickly recap Gameweek 18 and then also discuss Gameweek 19 as well and talk about, how we're lining up for that. So, quickly recap Gameweek 18. So, in goal, I had Dubravka, who did lose. They conceded goal to Luton, wasn't it now? Newcastle did lose 1-0. Very annoying. Bit of a shock result as well. Luton doing very well. Obviously, Luton are pretty good at home, so yeah, unfortunate. They obviously Trippier, same thing with him, loses his clean sheet point. Pedro Porro, however, did also concede. I think, was it to Everton in the end? Obviously, Everton losing that one 2-1. But unfortunately, Spurs couldn't hold on. Trent did pick up an assist in the game against Arsenal, which was nice to see. Almost got a goal as well, and that would have been huge for me, but not to be. Into the midfield five, Gordon blanked. Palmer played today. Obviously, he was my final player left to play today, and Chelsea lost 2-1. I don't think Chelsea were great. However, for those that didn't watch the game, Sterling made a huge error. Sterling is through on goal. All he has to do is square it. Palmer's got an open goal. So Palmer could have scored yet again if Sterling wasn't greedy. All he has to do is to pass it to Palmer as a goal. So yeah, it's very annoying that Sterling didn't pass because it was a guaranteed goal for Palmer. Obviously, Palmer picks up a yellow card and will be suspended for Game 19. I was prepared for this. I did say Palmer gets a yellow card. I do have plans. So yeah, we'll talk through in a bit what I do with Palmer. Saka did blank against Liverpool in the 1-1 draw. Son, however, did get another goal, and Son's been on fire. I feel like the last few weeks he's consistently getting goals for me, which is nice. And Spurs carry on winning. Salah scored a lovely goal, as we saw, cutting onto his left foot and putting the ball past Raya in goal. Great goal. And yeah, he comes away with a 7-pointer. Up front, Watkins did blank in Aston Villa's. Was it a draw in the end, wasn't it?
The Aston Villa match, yes. 1-1.
Yeah, draw 1-1 against Sheffield, which was disappointing. Obviously, Watkins was my captain. I expected a lot more. Didn't pay off. If you went Salah, if you went Son as captain, congratulations. Obviously, done a lot better than Watkins. But yeah, he did blank. And the main man, as we know, is Dom Solanke, who got that hat trick in the 3-2 win for Bournemouth against Nottingham Forest. Big win for him, obviously. And obviously, Bournemouth are like mid-table right now. They're doing very well. So very impressive so far. And yeah, on the bench, as you guys know, points galore. I could have bench boosted. And he would have been an excellent bench boost. So Ariola got an 8-pointer on the bench after his clean sheet, annoyingly. Archer went and scored as well against Aston Villa, which I didn't expect. He comes with an 8-pointer. Gabriel went and scored against Liverpool with the header and picked up a bonus point, got a couple of bonus points. So he comes with a 10-pointer, and he didn't even keep a clean sheet. And if he did, who knows what his score would have been. And then Taylor obviously got a clean sheet as well. So about 32 points, I believe, on the bench, which does sting a bit. However, as you guys know, I did make 2 transfers. I took a hit this week. So my 2 transfers in were Trent and Trippier, and I took out Livramento and Tsimikas. The hit did pay off by 1 point. Because obviously Livramento got 1 point, Tsimikas got 1 point, and then Trent got 5, and plus Trippier's 2. So that's 7 points, minus 4. I got a 1 point gain out of that hit in the end. So it did pay off, especially with now Tsimikas being injured for long term. Trent's there, and then Livramento is now a rotation risk. So I'm actually sort of happy I took the hit in the end. And all in all, it was 51 points. However, I did take a minus 4. So 47 points. Very small green arrow in the end. And I believe it was about a 12, 13K green arrow, which again, I'm not going to complain. Green arrow is a green arrow since game week 8. I believe since my wild card, that's now, I've had a green arrow every week, bar like 1 or 2 weeks since the wild card. So it's been really good. And even the red arrow I had, it was a very small red arrow, like a couple of K red arrow. So it's been on the upward trajectory since that game week 8 wild card. So yeah, 435K was sitting on 47 points. when we take in consideration the hit. But yeah, run us through your game week 18 as well, Jordan.
Yes, not a great game week from my team, but we'll start off with Leno in goal, who that was a shocking result. Burnley winning 2-0 against obviously Fulham, and yeah, no clean sheet for Leno and only 1 point for him. Not many obviously defensive returns in my back five. Only Taylor bringing the 6 points in that clean sheet against obviously Leno, which was quite a surprise. Taylor getting the clean sheet rather than obviously Leno, who was probably expected to keep one in that game. But the rest of the defence, obviously Simicast, he went off injured with a collarbone, so he would be out for a foreseeable future. Pedro Porro conceded 1 against Everton, so no clean sheet there. Trippier obviously lost 1-0 to Luton in that away fixture, and Brantford, obviously they conceded 2 against Spurs. So yeah, only clean sheet to give from the back five was Taylor. So we move on to the midfield 4, where we got Salah, who scored his lovely goal against Arsenal in that 1-1 draw. He got a yellow card though, so he only got a bonus 1 point on top of that 7 that he returned. Moving on to Matoma, who was seen on crutches, leaving obviously that match later on, in like the 82nd or 83rd minute, from an ankle injury. So he's currently flagged and probably potentially misses the Tottenham fixture up next. Moving on to Saka, who only blanks. He did get a yellow card as well, so he only returned for 1 point in that draw. So no goals for attacking returns for Saka. Hwang, this was quite a surprise, but Hwang somehow blanked in that 2-1 victory over Chelsea. And the fact that Hwang wasn't a part of any of the 2 goals of Wolves that scored, I was quite annoyed at that. But we'll have to move on and see what he can do. Obviously, in his next fixture, he didn't get a yellow card, which I'm thankful of because he is on 4. So he does survive the yellow card suspension gap tightrope. And we move up front to the only lone forward, who was my transfer in this week. Didn't pay off. It was Ollie Watkins, who only got the 2 points. And because I captained him this week, he left me with 4 points. And that 1-1 draw against Sheffield United was quite an interesting game. And I thought that would be a much different score, considering the form and the fixture that brought to it. But it was a good draw, I think, for Sheffield United's part, but very annoying draw for Aston Villa. Moving on to the bench, so none of my bench players actually returned because none of them actually played, apart from obviously Areola, who did get a clean sheet annoyingly against Man United in that 2-0 win. He got obviously the clean sheet, a couple of saves he made, got him that 1 point, and the bonus 1 on top of that. So he was the go-to goalkeeper for this week, but I think a lot of us did bench him for other options due to the fixture being not so great for him, but turned out to be the best thing yet. But overall, it's obviously a very bad week for me, with only 29 points this game week and a massive red arrow from, I think, 200k, around 200k down to 420k. So yeah, massive drop in terms of rank this week. So yeah, it's definitely a game week I want to put behind me and look forward to the future ones ahead.
Okay, let's move on to game week 19 now and look at our bus teams. So, as we know, with my team, I am fairly set in what I plan to do. So I'll just quickly read through the way I'm lining up for game week 19. So in goal, we've got Dubravka, who's got Nottingham Forest at home. Again, I think that's a decent fixture for Newcastle. I know Newcastle are struggling. However, it is a home fixture. So you hope Newcastle can turn it back around and get something. So let's see. Not massively confident on a clean sheet, but you never know. Newcastle do tend to be a lot stronger at home. Trippier's obviously got the same fixture, and I already sort of regret Trippier's move in. I'm not sure I would bring him in right now if I didn't have him. But he's got Nottingham Forest at home, and I'm hoping that he can get me a big return. A clean sheet would be lovely. Porro's got Brighton away again. I think I want to play Porro. He's got the attacking threat. Spurs are very attacking. I don't expect a clean sheet from Spurs here, but hopefully Porro can get something going forward. Trent's got Burnley away. I think it's a great fixture for Trent and Liverpool. I could see a clean sheet here as well for Liverpool potentially. Hopefully, it is a double-digit return from Trent here. If he can get the clean sheet, maybe 1 assist or a goal would be lovely. But I expect a big performance here from Trent and Liverpool. And yeah, and as you guys know, Gabriel, I've decided to play Gabriel. So I was originally going to play Palmer. Now Palmer had Crystal Palace. However, Palmer did pick up a yellow card in today's fixture against Wolves. That means Palmer will be suspended. And the option I have now is, do I play Gabriel against West Ham, or do I play Archer, who's got Luton? Now, most people would probably play Archer because he's a forward and more likely to get you a goal. However, I've looked into the clean sheet odds. Apparently, Arsenal have a 48% chance of a clean sheet this weekend, which is the highest of any team playing this weekend. So, and obviously, we've just seen Gabriel get a goal as well. So I'm leaning towards actually playing Gabriel and maybe Arsenal picking up a clean sheet there, even though West Ham have been playing really well. Obviously, Bowen's on fire as well as Kudus. So we'll have to see. But as of now, I am playing Gabriel against West Ham at home. In the midfield, I've got Gordon. Let's see if he can turn it around as well. Newcastle need to get back to winning ways. They are struggling, but I've still got faith in Gordon. Saka's got West Ham. Again, it's a decent fixture. I still think it won't be an easy game. Saka has been a bit frustrating to own for me because I still think I've been expecting a lot more from him in terms of hauls. He's not really had a big haul yet. He's been consistently sort of returning an assist here and there, but I want a big return from Saka soon. Because if not, in the coming weeks, I've not ruled out potentially getting rid of Saka personally. I know we spoken about Saka being a hold long term, but I think for the money that he costs, I still think there's other better value out there. So I'm giving Saka some time. Let's see how he does in the next 3 to 4 weeks. If not, I'm not against selling him longer term. Son, Brighton away again. If you've got Son, you just hold him. I think he's a great pick this week. Potentially could be captain worthy, I think. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see what Son can do against Brighton. Brighton are more leakier than a tap. They concede goals. They don't impress me in terms of defensively, the way they're set up. I think Brighton are causing a lot of their issues, through their own like willingness to play at the back. I just think they need to stop playing at the back because the goalie, some of the players don't seem comfortable doing it. So hopefully, Spurs can capitalize on that. Salah's got Burnley away. Again, I think it's a good fixture for Liverpool. I expect to win here. Obviously, Liverpool coming off 2 games now where they've drawn. Obviously, Liverpool drawing at Man United and then again at Arsenal. They need to win this game ideally to get back to winning ways. Salah's also, as you can see, he's my captain. I'm 99% sure I'm going to go on Salah. I don't see me changing it. I think he's got the best fixture. He scored a nice goal against Arsenal. And yeah, I do back Liverpool to win this game. So yeah, Salah will be my captain and I'm hoping for a big return from him before I start. I might actually sell. This might be Salah's last game in my team before he's sold, potentially. Because I do want to bring Haaland in next week if Haaland's fit. Up front, I've got Watkins against Man United. I've seen some people saying, should you play Archer and bench Watkins and stuff? I think no chance. Watkins, I don't think people have been watching Aston Villa. Man United are not that great. Watkins, who knows what Watkins could do against Man United? So I'm more than happy to play him. I think he's one of those players that you could even captain. I know he didn't pay off. He got a blank against Sheffield, but as I say, not every game's the same. This will be a different test for Man United and for Aston Villa as well. So yeah, Watkins, more than happy to own him for this fixture and hopefully he can get a return. And then finally, Solanke coming off his hat-trick this game week. He's got Fulham next. Fulham obviously coming off the back of a 2-0 loss as well, I believe. And Bournemouth are on a roll, literally. Since they've got their manager, obviously, this season, they've been really well. I've been impressed with Bournemouth. Solanke, we always knew he was a great player. Obviously, when he was at Liverpool, Solanke, as a youngster, I always knew he was a decent player. He just needed to go somewhere else, get the chance, get the game time. And Solanke is, looking like a good striker in the end. So, yeah, I think Solanke could be a decent game for him as well. So, yeah, happy to own him for this one as well. Now, on the bench, Areola's got Arsenal, so I'm not going to play him. Archer's the one I could play instead of Gabriel. However, I'd rather back the Arsenal defender. And then Taylor has got Liverpool, who I'm not going to play. And then Palmer, as we know, is already suspended, so no point playing Palmer. But all in all, I am playing a 4-4-2. I've got Salah captain. Son is the vice captain. In terms of transfers, I've got 2.6 million in the bank, so I've got a bit of money to spend there. I could go many ways. However, I think the smart option for me this game week is to just roll the transfer and do nothing. Have 2 free transfers going into game week 20, and then potentially look to bring Haaland in when Haaland is fit again. So yeah, it's looking like a pretty easy week for me, where I don't need to do too much thinking or the tinkering around with my team. I think it's pretty obvious what the move is, and it's roll. And Palmer getting the suspension, makes it a bit easier potentially in terms of having a benching headache as well. So yeah, that's the team. And I don't plan on veering away from rolling the move and having 2 next week. Jordan, same for you. Let's look at your boss team and yeah, talk us through what you're planning. Because obviously, looking at your bench, obviously you've got a couple players unavailable, and your plans might change as well because obviously Haaland as well was the move you're looking at.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting week for me in terms of transfer decision making. But I think I've conjured up a nice plan, obviously for my transfers. But before I go into that, I'll just read out my team selection so far for Game Week 19. So for goalkeepers, I've opted for Leno, who's got Bournemouth away. Whether I expect a clean sheet or not, probably not. I expect probably Leno to make a couple of saves and maybe get some save points. But a clean sheet against Bournemouth, the way they're playing at the moment, very unlikely. But obviously have to see. I don't think I'll play Areola over Leno because Arsenal weighs even as much as a clean sheet wipe there. So I think I'll leave the capable hands of Leno to see what he can do against Bournemouth away. So moving on to the back four. So it's not the best back four I could possibly go with going forward into Game Week 19. But we'll start off with Taylor, who's got Liverpool at home. And obviously this causes an issue because it clashes with Salah, who's in my team. And all the more reason I don't expect, obviously, Burnley to keep a clean sheet against Liverpool, even though it's a home fixture for them. I do expect Liverpool to score, and in particular Salah to score as well in that game. So, yeah, I do expect not really a clean sheet from Taylor, which makes it a bit pointless having him in my team. But I'm forced to play him because of obviously Tsimikas being the latest injury in that Liverpool game that we just had in Game Week 18. So it does force me to play Taylor for now, but he may be in the transfer plans down the line. So we move on to the next defender, and that is Trippier, who has Nottingham Forest at home. Now you could probably say this is a bit of a redemption fixture for Trippier and Newcastle assets, especially the way they played against Luton in Game Week 18 away. Their away form is pretty terrible, Newcastle, but there is a good sign from Nottingham Forest at home. I think Nottingham Forest have struggled as well this season, whether it's been at home or obviously an away fixture with the manager being sacked as well. Newly manager appointed for them, but I think Nottingham Forest still have a long way to go before they're back to the ways they were originally. And I think this is a good opportunity for Trippier to get some points back on the bandwagon where he hasn't really got any clean sheets nor attacker returns. And I think it's a good fixture for Newcastle at home. Next defender is Pedro Porro. I think this one is pretty my most confident defender to go with because it is Brighton away, and Brighton haven't kept a single clean sheet up to now. So I do expect Spurs to score in this fixture and not to obviously wipe the clean sheet either against Brighton. Whether I see Brighton score or not, potentially yes, but I'm expecting the attack return from Pedro Porro as he is capable of doing that. That's hence why most of us have brought him in into our teams for that attacking threat that he does bring, as he does get the odd assist here and there from obviously Spurs' goals. So yeah, I'm happy to play him against Brighton away. And finally in defence, we've got Branthwaite, who has Man City at home. Now, if Branthwaite can pull off probably one of the most shocking things to happen in Game Week 19, where Branthwaite keeps a clean sheet against Man City at home, which isn't such a surprise, especially the way Man City have played so far. It wouldn't surprise me if Everton at home keep a clean sheet because they've done it before against other teams, and the way Everton are playing now, especially with that 10-point reduction, has sort of given them a boost of morale when it comes to their home fixtures. And I'm not against playing Branthwaite. He's got Man City at home at all. I think that's a considerable fixture for him, as despite the way both teams are playing. But that's the defenders out the way. So move on to the midfield three. It's a bit empty in the midfield. But we have got Salah as a first pick. He's got Burnley away. It's a nice fixture. I think Salah will be the majority captained, like obviously Watkins was when he had Sheffield. So yeah, I expect Salah to be highly captained for this week. It's currently on him. It's not 100% on Salah, if I'm honest, which may be a surprise to some of you. The captain may change to someone else, but for now it is on Salah. But come the deadline stream, that might change. So just keep in mind, obviously, for the deadline stream and what I do for the captaincy. But it's just on Salah for now, who's got Burnley away. We move on to Saka, who has West Ham at home. Now, obviously, Saka has been a quiet player in terms of matches for Arsenal. There has been goals coming from Arsenal. It's just not coming from really Saka's way much. He does get the odd assist here and there, but he's definitely a player I'm considering taking out. If not next game week, it'll be definitely when I take my wild card. I don't think Saka will be in my wild card. It's obviously a wait and see what he does against West Ham at home, but if he doesn't provide anything from this fixture, then he may be on the chopping blocks because he is worth 9 million. I think in terms of value at the moment. So he is expensive, but what he's providing is not worth the value for his money. I don't think so. Yeah, we have to see what he can do against West Ham at home. And finally, we've got Hwang, who has Brentford away. I think it's an average fixture, I think, for Wolves. I think it's not a bad one, especially with Brentford losing their attacking players. I mean, Tony soon will come back into the team, but in the meantime, Mbeumo being out injured has affected Brentford's performances in the attack. So even though it's a away fixture for Wolves, I'm still waiting for Hwang return. I thought I'd get one against Chelsea, that 2-1 win, but nothing from Hwang in that game. So I'm hoping that he can provide something from this Brentford away fixture. It would help a lot if he does get a return, whether it's an assist or a goal, as his ownership isn't that high for it to be deemed template. So we move on to the front three. So we've got Wissa, who has Wolves at home. I've not been impressed really with Wissa, as I've mentioned with Brentford. They've not been that great in the absence of Mbeumo. So I'm just hoping for something from Wissa. Since I've had him, I've had no returns from him. And this fixture against Wolves at home, I'm hoping it's full of goals in both ways and hoping it's coming from Wissa's direction in terms of Brentford. Next, we got Watkins, who has Man United away. Now, you know my opinion strongly about Man United, especially in their last game where it pretty much looked like they gave up after the first goal went in. It's like they lost complete confidence, hope, and belief, and they just went on to lose that game. So, yeah, I have nothing against playing Watkins against Man United away. Who knows what that score will be? It's never sure what Man United will bring to the table when they play, but I know for sure Aston Villa will bring everything they've got, especially in the position they're in the table at the moment. They've got a lot to play for and maybe potentially in the title race amongst other teams. So, yeah, I expect Watkins and the rest of the team to give 110% in that away game at Old Trafford. And finally, we've got Alvarez, who has Everton away. Now, this could be a good game for Alvarez in terms of minutes because it is unsure whether Haaland will be ready for Gameweek 19 or not. So in the case that Haaland isn't, it would be nice to see Alvarez play, obviously, 90 minutes against Everton away. It's considerably a tough fixture, I think, for Man City, the way they're playing, and obviously the way we've seen Everton at home. I think it's going to be very cagey, very tight game, but either way, it's obviously Alvarez plays against Brentford, so I'm hoping either a clean sheet from Everton or something coming from Alvarez in terms of a goal or an assist, but I much prefer a goal, I think, because he most likely would get the bonus points in the absence of Haaland not being available for that game. And finally, move on to obviously the bench. There's not really much to talk about because obviously Tsimikas is out injured and will not feature in that Burnley away fixture. Mitoma is a doubt. It's not 100% ruled out, but it's pretty much a doubt for that Tottenham home fixture with an ankle injury. And obviously Decore is out for that Man City game entirely because he's red flagged for a hamstring injury. So I've got no playing bench players apart from Areola, who's my sub goalkeeper, who's got Arsenal away. Now we move on to the most important decision of my team is the transfer plan and what I decided to do. So I have 5.9 million in the bank, so there is a lot of money to play around with in my team with one free transfer going forward. So originally I was planning to take out Watkins out of my team for Haaland, but now let's say Haaland in the situation that he's not available for Gameweek 19. I've slightly changed my plan to come up with a different idea going forward. So here it is. I am deciding to take out defender, and that is going to be Taylor. So I am deciding, in this case, if Haaland doesn't play, or if I hear he's not available, I will be taking out Taylor, who's got Liverpool at home. And who I'm going to bring in for Taylor will be Trent, who's got Burnley away. So with the luxury of having a lot of money in the bank, it has provided me to obviously bring in Trent, who I think has a nice game against Burnley away. I think he'll do huge amounts of obviously attack in that game. I'm hoping there's a massive return for Trent. I'll be very surprised if there isn't. But yeah, he is the player I'm deciding to bring in for one free transfer. And that does leave me 1.5 million in the bank. But it does leave me with a starting 11, which I'm considerably happy with. I'm not too disappointed with the way the team looks with Trent in it now, especially in that defense. But I think it just helps, I think, in terms of defenders bringing Trent in, because he has been quite on form and he is one of the exceptional defenders that I think I would like to bring in that has a lot of attacking threat as well, if not a clean sheet. So yeah, that is my transfer plans in my team selection going forward into Game Week 19 so far. And this is in case of obviously Haaland not being available for Game Week 19.
Yeah, sorry, just to add on that Haaland situation. Obviously, I saw like some info regarding Haaland. Apparently, Haaland didn't train ahead of that Game Week 19 fixture against Everton. If that's the case, Haaland didn't train. Obviously, it looks like he's a doubt. So yeah, I guess your plans do have to sort of change. And if Haaland isn't fit for Game Week 19, then yeah, there's no point bringing him in. And even Game Week 20, is he going to be ready for Game Week 20? Who knows? It's going to be interesting to watch the Haaland. Is he fit? Is he not? Because if he is fit in Game Week 20, a lot of us will be rushing to bring him in because obviously the fixture turns nice. He's the standout captain that week as well. But yeah, interesting plans. Obviously, Trent is doing well as well. We know he's been a bit of form recently. A couple of hauls, couple of assists. Brilliant assist as well, obviously, last game. But yeah, let's take a few of your comments, guys. Also, I do want to add, if you are watching and you're enjoying the content, guys, all we ask for is a like on the video. So please hit that like button. Also, make sure you are subscribed. As I said, we've just passed 1,000 subscribers. And, we're on the road to 2,000 subscribers now. So help us get there, guys. Really appreciate your support. Denver with a comment. Evening, gents. Is it worth to bring in Trent and Trippier out for this game week? Wildcarding soon. Yeah, I think it 100% is worth bringing Trent in. Obviously, Jordan's bringing Trent in this week. It looks like I bought Trent in last week. I think Trent is one of the standout defenders right now in terms of FPL. I think Trippier and Newcastle in particular looking quite leggy. Newcastle's away form isn't great. However, they've got a home fixture this week, so I don't hate Trippier this week. I don't know if it's a priority. You have to take him out. If you need the money, I still prefer Trent. But if you're wildcarding soon, then I'm a fan of Trent for this week for sure. Burnley, it looks like a fixture where Liverpool can have some joy against Burnley there. Evening all, Jordan, what's happening? Any Haaland plans? Yeah, Jordan, obviously you've gone through it, bro. It's looking like you're gonna have to swerve it.
Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to swerve it for a fatality. If Haaland's not going to be ready for Game Week 19, there's no really point of bringing him in if obviously he's not going to be featuring in that game week. And it is a tough game, Everton as well. But I have got Alvarez there, so that kind of works out. If Haaland's obviously not there, I have to still have Man City asset to provide for that game.
I think Alvarez is a really good pick if Haaland doesn't play, because as we said it, Alvarez will get the chances that Haaland would have got. So if Alvarez takes his chances, it could be a good pick still. Kawanda, good evening, lads. I am planning to sell Simicast for Trent. Next game week, I can sell Salah and Archer for Haaland and a 5.4 million midfielder. I don't want to sell Watkins or Solanke. Yeah, that sounds like a decent idea. We know Salah will be off to AFCON soon as well. So Salah will become a sell. The only problem about selling Salah's 13.3 million now. And if you've got him in at 12.5, 12.6 million, he's very hard to bring back into your team. So hopefully you've got a route to bring Salah back in, because you may want Salah back after the AFCON with the way he's been playing. So that, me personally, for my team, I do worry about selling Salah. How do I bring him back in? I'll have to sell Trent and Trippier probably and do it that way. So yeah, that's the worry about selling players like Salah. It's hard to bring him back in. Owa with a comment, hi, I played my free hit this week and got 60 points. Fair
Nice.
play. Nice little returner. Hi again, lads. Just wanted to ask about Nkunku. I know he's very knee-jerk, but could be decent. Yeah, we could speak on Nkunku. He scored his first goal for Chelsea, I believe, in the Premier League today. I think it was his first actual minutes. Came off the bench and he scored. Now, obviously, in preseason, I spoke about Nkunku a lot. I've watched Nkunku a lot for his previous club at Leipzig. Excellent player. Very good player. We know Chelsea do struggle in attack, and I think Nkunku could be the one to break that curse. I think he's that good. Whether he does it, we'll have to see. But in terms of what player he is, and he was a player I was looking at potentially Liverpool signing in previous years. So I rate the player. He looks good. Obviously, coming on. I personally wouldn't go there that soon. If you want to be different, you could go there. He looks like he will start the next fixture, start the next game. Again, I like him as a player, but I'm not sure I would want to go there. Yeah, just not enough certainty for me. Especially with the midfielders and stuff I have. Is he listed as a midfielder? No, he's a striker. He's a forward, isn't he?
He's a striker, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've got Solanke. We've got the likes of Watkins. You've got Alvarez as well. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not for me, but I don't hate a punt if you want to be different.
Yeah, because I think he's still a wait and see in Nkunku, but I've liked what I've seen so far because he came on in the 53rd minute and he scored late in that game, which was assisted by Sterling as well. So, yeah, I quite like the team up on obviously Sterling and Nkunku. It could be a potential future thing to go for, but yeah, I think definitely wait and see for Nkunku.
Yeah. Roman says Palmer makes my benching headache a lot easier. I've seen a few of people actually Palmer obviously being suspended now makes it easier for us potentially. Even though I would have liked to have Palmer actually playing because I still think he's a great pick. My headache would have been Palmer or Bowen for Boxing Day, as I'm quite happy. So suspended, so Bowen will play. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be benching Bowen, to be honest. I mean, Bowen does have Arsenal, doesn't he? So
yeah, still it's Bowen.
Yeah, Bowen's on fire. You wouldn't want to bench Bowen no matter what fixture it's at, really. Lukata with a comment as well. I'm starting Watkins, Solanke, and Archer. Yeah, all three good strikers, I think, to start. Obviously, Archer's got Luton. I'm deciding to bench Archer actually this week. I'm decided to play Gabriel instead. Obviously, we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, Archer against Luton's fine to play him as well. Hamza, Haas, you're smashing it, bro. From 1 million to 430k, fair play. And he also adds both of us are. So keep it up.
No, thanks, Hamza.
Yeah, thank you, Hamza. Yeah, I've been on quite a decent streak of green arrows. I believe when I wildcarded, I think I was 5 million, which was obviously terrible. But I had a really bad start to the season. From like the first 6 or 7 game weeks, I was just getting red arrow after red arrow, which recovered a bit. But hopefully, I can keep climbing. Ura as well, similar. 1 mil now, 297k. Would you sell one of Colwill, Gabriel, Porro, or Trippier to get Trent in Gameweek 19, or do Ferguson to Alvarez? I personally prefer Ferguson to Alvarez, really. But obviously, we've just spoke about Trent. I mean, the 3 defenders you have aren't bad. Gabriel is decent against West Ham. Porro can get a clean sheet or attack and return, possibly. Trippier's fine. I still think Trippier's fine. Colwill, obviously, Chelsea wasn't good today, but Chelsea do have the fixtures. Alvarez, if Haaland's out, Alvarez becomes a decent option. So,
yeah, I think all those options in the long term are great, apart from maybe Trippier. I think the rest of them long term are probably in my opinion, the best options to go for. Cole for Chelsea. Chelsea have nice fixtures. Even Arsenal now have started to get more nice ones. Pedro Porro as well. Spurs, nice fixtures. Trippier, though, on the other hand, I don't know, because for the short term, you've got him for Nottingham Forest at home, but then he has difficult fixtures coming up against Man City, Aston Villa, etc. So, yeah, it's Trippier is the problem. And you only can play him really in the home fixtures. The away ones, I'll just completely forget about Trippier at the moment. But it depends what you think about him. Because I don't know if I would want to bench Trippier even when he has away fixtures, but I would rather not keep him for them either. So
yeah,
I would probably get Trippier out, even though you should really hold him for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, I would probably hold him for Nottingham Forest and then get rid of him when he's got Liverpool if you are looking to get rid of Trippier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Ferguson to Alvarez, to be fair. Yeah, makes tempting you with a Richarlison potentially as a shout. No, Richarlison doing well if he's fit again.
Yeah, he could be an option to go for. I can afford the move, obviously, but yeah, I have to wait and see. I think I'll bring in Richarlison when I think Son goes to the Asia Cup.
Hamza, do I hold Darwin for longer if Haaland doesn't play? Yeah, I think you've got to just hold Darwin. If you've got him, I think you have to hold him when he's got Burnley away. If he doesn't do anything against Burnley away, then yeah, you could look to get rid of him after that. But if I had Darwin, I would be holding him just because of the fixture. Seeing any other comments that we missed? I don't want to read the same comments out. Don't have Trent, Solanke, Bowen, who returned, and Trippier.
Yeah, that's a lot of popular players for that selection not to have.
I mean, I'm just looking potentially the next move I'm looking to bring into my team is Haaland. Obviously, if Haaland's fit in Gameweek 20, then I would want him back. I think because he's got Sheffield, wasn't it? Sheffield at home. And that's a captain-worthy fixture. So, yeah, that's the plan. And it's going to be interesting to see what people do with Salah and Son, because Salah has risen in price a lot, as well as Son has as well. So we've got a lot of value tied up in those players. If you sell them, it's going to cost you more money to buy them back. Are you going to bench them and get through, or are you going to sell and spread the money? Because if you spread the money, you're going to have to take hits to bring Salah back in. And we don't really want to do that. So it's definitely going to be interesting regarding that strategy, because I still don't know whether I'm going to sell Salah or hold him. I'm probably going to have to sell him. And then I'm going to have to slowly get rid of Trippier and maybe even Trent in the future.
Ooh. Yeah, I think it does depend on what our midfields look like, because if you're happy and satisfied with obviously the midfield you've got in the absence of when Salah goes to AFCON, then yeah, it might be worth maybe benching Salah and playing obviously the four in the midfield, as long as you're happy with those four players that you think will obviously make you do well in the next 3 or 4 game weeks in the absence of Salah. Then yeah, benching Salah may not be a bad idea, but I think it is team dependent on what the midfield does look like for each of us.
Yeah, because I can see Bowen being a potential option where people sell Salah for Bowen. But again, that requires you selling Salah, because Bowen's not completely cheap. He's around nearly 8 million now. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what does happen. But yeah, I think we won't stay on for too much longer. Obviously, it is Christmas tomorrow, so hope everyone has a good Christmas to those celebrating. And if whatever you're doing out there, hope you have a good break as well. Obviously, most of us are off work as well. So yeah, enjoy whatever you guys are doing tomorrow, and also Boxing Day as well. Football is back. I do love a bit of Boxing Day football. Just taking a look at the fixtures. We are going to do a deadline stream. So obviously no stream tomorrow. However, we are back again to stream on Boxing Day. So I'm seeing when the deadline is. So it's an 11 o'clock deadline in the morning, UK time. So we'll probably stream at 10 a.m. Yeah, an hour before. So 10 a.m. Boxing Day. Do tune into the channel. We are going to do a live stream of an hour. Deadline stream should be good. We'll go live. We'll talk about our teams, any transfers. Obviously, Jordan's going to be making a transfer for sure. I'm probably going to roll. And yeah, we're going to do our last minute captaincies, all that stuff. So make sure you do tune in for that Boxing Day stream. Should be nice. And then again, we're back to do it again, because I believe game week 20, 30th of December as well. So very quick turnaround for game week 20 as well. So again, a lot to unpack. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. It's been a great stream. If you are still in the stream and you haven't already, guys, please hit that like button. It really helps support the channel, as you guys know. So smash the like, hit that subscribe button. Anything else you want to add, Jordan, before we do wrap this stream up?
Just Merry Christmas to each and everyone. If you hopefully have a lovely day tomorrow, if it's not already Christmas where you are. But yeah, take care, and we'll see you obviously after Christmas. But have a nice day.
Yep, take care, guys, and see you soon.